Hi everybody. Of course it is summertime, and that is when I am having overheating issues on my 2017 Jeep Wrangler. So it is an older model, so I figured parts are going to start going down. Anywho, I have ruled out a coolant leak because there was still coolant in it. Also, I added more coolant just in case, and it did not reduce the temperature in the engine. Therefore, I am guessing that the thermostat is faulty. So therefore, that's the easy fix. Let's try that first. So I'm going to go over it step by step so y'all could maybe do it yourself if you are in that situation. Again, it was really cheap to do so, and I'll go over what I'm doing step by step. So step number one, obviously, is always doing the research before you take the vehicle apart. And what I have researched, and I have replaced the thermostat before, it is going to be just under the air intake hose. So we're going to have to take this off. We're going to have to take that off. We're going to have to drain the radiator of all of the coolant in that. So for that, the main tools are going to be a 10mm socket with wrench, a flathead screwdriver. You're going to need some pliers, gloves, you should wear some safety goggles, a funnel, shop rack, a bucket to catch the coolant. And then when we're putting it back together, of course, you need new thermostat and new coolant to put that in. And this is probably one of the coolest tricks I have ever figured out to save some money. They recommend getting a burping kit from the automotive store. I have discovered that this will do the same exact trick. You just basically cut this in half. What it does is brings the coolant above the radiator, creating enough gravity, pull, or weight, I guess, to push out any air bubbles that may be stuck in front of the thermostat. I hope it kind of makes sense when I'm telling you what I'm doing. Obviously, I am not a mechanic. I have just watched enough videos and read up enough to know what I need to do. So if you are going to do what I'm going to do, then it is on you to do your own research and always ask somebody else if you have questions. Again, I am not a certified mechanic. So that being said, let's get it going. So first step is going to be removing this and the air hose and these bolts. So I'm a little torn about draining the radiator just because of the location of where the thermostat is. So I did a little bit of searching around on that on other opinions, and they said it's cleaner to drain all of the radiator part of the radiator out, but it is not necessary. That it may be a little bit messier, but if I am putting bucket under the general area of the air intake area, where the just underneath of it is where the thermostat is located, and that is where there is a hose going from the radiator coolant just in that area, I could just catch the radiator fluid that is coming out of that area. My issue is I have pets running around, so I would probably have to have a hose ready just in case there is spillage that is not being caught. And so I'm kind of hesitant on that. So let's see what I'm going to go with. For right now, I'm just going to take this stuff apart. I already have the top off, and I loosened the bolts when I was thinking about the radiator fluid. Okay, I will let you know what I decide. As you can see, I have removed the top. I have unscrewed that. I have unscrewed those bolts. Those bolts are there. These are handy dandy, so you're not really losing anything. And now, next step is going to be disconnecting that to get that out of the way. And down there, that thing is the thermostat housing right there. That's what I need to get to, open it up, and put a new thermostat in that. So, okay, hear me out. As you can see, I have removed that air intake and the air intake canister, and I'm just laying it on top. I didn't think it was necessary to completely undo this. So I'm still thinking through the whole, do I need to drain the entire radiator in order to get accomplished what I need to get accomplished. So as we know, this is the radiator. The radiator hose right here brings the coolant in here through the thermostat into the engine compartment where it's basically circulating and cooling the engine off. So logically then, there is going to be a mess coming out in this area right here first. So I am thinking, I thought I'm taking this burpee tool that I created, put it underneath there, attach the funnel that I had, and then put my bucket that is going to catch everything right underneath of that. So theologically it should work. And I'm thinking if I'm opening this cap up, this here, that allows for some airflow, so there's not going to be that splash, and it should be more of a smoother drain of whatever is right in here. I still will need to top it off and basically put that back on top and make sure that there's no air bubble in this area. This is basically where it would be stuck in, and if that happens, because as you can see there is an incline here, if there's air stuck right in here, that will basically overheat the engine because there is no coolant going through. Alright, so that is my stinking thinking on that. I think I am going to try that versus draining the entire radiator of its coolant. Wish me luck. I am glad I trusted my instinct because that worked like a charm. It went straight in there, minimal mess around the engines, just a couple of drips as you can see there, and that definitely worked. So now it's taking off bolts right there at the top position and at the 6 o'clock, so 12 and 6, and that should take that part out. So yeah, that worked. Let's see if there's more fluid coming out of that section. That would probably be my only other worry, so I'm going to have to move that over, just over that, just to be on the safe side. Okay. Alright, so yes is the answer. There will be more liquids coming out of that, so do what I didn't do and move the bucket over and your contraption. I didn't make too much of a mess. So you could see most of it went onto the cardboard, but I was able to move it over and catch the rest of it, which I still think this is a lot easier on this Model G because the release, in order to release the radiator fluid out of this, is just a pain in the hiney, and doing that in 94 degrees, it is just not feasible. So easy is the best way of doing it on this one. I have turned this hose up, so just in case there's any leakage going here. And I didn't open that valve up either. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. I have taken off the thermostat housing and thermostat right there. So this is basically the part that is faulty right in here. So I will now figure out how to replace it on the inside. I wish I didn't listen to my husband and just got the whole thing, because then I could just work on putting it all back together. But hey, that's what I do, listen to my husband. Okay, I'll keep you posted. Well, wouldn't you know it, my hubby came home just in time. So basically you just compress that, turn it around, that comes apart, then you put the new parts right back on there. So yeah, it wasn't as hard. The housing is completely fine. You got to take that old gasket out of that ring right there. Going to clean that up and then reverse the process with the new gasket that came with the unit. Okay. Putting the new gasket back into the grooves right here. Just like that. And then we're just going to reverse the process, clean the ring up around it. So that's ready to go. And then we're just reversing everything according to how it went. Now you all need to know that there's a specific torque that those bolts are supposed to be on there, which basically translates to, once you feel it, it's on there, like making contact, you just give it a little bit of another turn to have a snug seal on it. So don't over tighten it. It just needs to be tight on there. And then we're just connecting everything back on. So again, I am not a mechanic. I am just doing it by my own research and all that kind of good stuff. So don't sue me if you are not doing anything right. I am giving you just what I have experienced. So you definitely want to get somebody else's opinion as well. Back to that, it has torque specs. So you want to look at it and see. What I basically did, I pushed it on there, tightened it as far as I could, and once it was on there nice and snug, I gave it a little bit extra oomph, and it is nice and tight. So that is not the real technical term of how to tighten up those and what the specs are for it, but it basically translated to hand tight. So you can get a fancy torque wrench and get it done and look up the specs for it specifically, but from experience, that's pretty much how I did it. That went back on, so now it's just a matter of getting these parts back, the air intake put back on, and the hoses connected, and the sensor connected back up, and then we need to top it up and do burping on that, releasing any kind of air bubbles, because obviously this now is full of air, and once we are topping it off with the coolant, the air is going to get trapped, and we are going to have an issue like in this area, because it goes back up. There's going to be an air pocket right in that area, and if you don't get that out, then you are going to have a mess on your hands with an overheating engine, and that defeated the purpose. So I will continue putting this all back together and keep you posted on the next step. This is basically what it's doing. It's feeding itself back into the system. All these air bubbles are coming out of there. You want to push that and see how much air is coming still out. I had taken the glove and then just cut it into a ring and wrapped it around the thread, creating basically a little seal around it. So when I put the bottle on top, the empty bottle, it was creating a seal. So now I am working the hose. I'm squeezing it and squeezing it, and I'm pushing out all the air that I can out of that. So that is what I'm doing now, and then I'm going to let it run so it can circulate a little bit more. So let's see how that turns out. So now I'm basically leading the line with the engine running. That will now circulate the coolant throughout the engine block, and I keep squeezing the hose over here. So once the engine gets warmer, it is going to circulate it more, and more bubbles are still coming up. So we just continue on doing this until all the bubbles stop coming out, because the bubbles are what will hurt your engine. So that needs to come out. So like I said, the hotter it gets, the more it is going to circulate the coolant, and therefore it will help with getting the coolant into the reservoir. So I can tell you that it definitely worked, because yesterday the temperature went all the way up to 249. So I had it now roughed up and let the temperature go up to 225, and it automatically cooled it back down like it's supposed to in the 210s area. So I think that is good. I just got to double check and make sure that all of the air is out of the line and it doesn't bubble anymore. See, it's going back down. So it's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. It's cooling it down. So we definitely have fixed what the issue was. So hallelujah. Now the hoses are starting to get hot, and you can see that this is starting to change color from the bright yellow that it was to an orange, indicating that it has gone through a cycle of coolant from the radiator through the hose into the engine and back through. There's still bubbles coming up, especially now that the engine is hot, so it expands a little bit more. As you can see, when I'm squeezing it here, there's more bubbles. We want to actually really make sure that we keep going with this process until there aren't any bubbles anymore, as the bubbles will eventually be your demise. So take your time, get it taken care of. It is now doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing, and that is my lesson. So no need to drain the whole radiator of radiator fluid. You can just catch it at that area right in here, funnel it into a bucket, and just remember to move the bucket over and your contraption when you are removing the thermostat housing. So the next question is, how are we going to remove this without spilling it all over the place? So we can either take a turkey baster and baste it all out and put it in here, or, as soon as we don't want to ruin Thanksgiving dinner, take one of your husband's tools, wrap them in some shop towels, and then take one of your gloves inside out and put it in there and basically close up the hole. Then you need both of your hands to pull it out and then get it over here. So get it as close as possible to the bucket, or get the bucket as close as possible to your thingy here, and then transport it. There's a very good chance you're still going to spill something, but that is how to get that move from there. I hope you all learned something and enjoyed it, and hopefully I don't have to make another video on something else. Talk to you soon. Bye.